Hello and welcome to my channel FaxaKnits. My name is Sarah and I'm a knitter based in Germany. This is episode 1 of my project podcast. This is kind of a Christmas special where I want to take you with me on the last steps of the adventure of knitting this sweater. This is the Super Selene sweater by Anne Vansel. And because of the fact that I started this sweater before I started making YouTube videos, I will only be able to show you the last steps of this sweater. But I will share with you some clips and some photos that I have taken with the finished object. And if you want to stick around, I will also show you some footage of me making Christmas decor for my house. Okay, I think at first we have to talk about the idea behind this sweater. I've seen this sweater online and I really like the design on the yoke, but I was not too thrilled about the fit. So I decided to make my own thing with this sweater. As the pattern is a paid-for pattern, I am not able to show you the chart, but I can talk you a little bit through the process of my idea. So to modify this design, I have to do a few steps. The first step that I want to do is shorten the yoke. In the original design, the yoke will come really low, nearly to the elbow, and I did not want that. So I decided to take out a few of the rows of the yoke. I decided to take out 6 rows of the collar work, and I also wanted to skip all the light colored rows after the yoke that you would do before splitting for sleeves. And I also decided to skip the last 2 increases in the colorwork chart. For the body and the sleeves, I planned on do them just stockinette and do a 1x1 ribbing on the cuffs and on the hemline, and then do an Italian bind off. Let's talk about material. For my Super Selene sweater, I used the needle size 5.5, which is the recommended needle size for the pattern. I used a yarn called Ava in the 2 colors that you can see here. It's first a cream color and then a moss green color. I will bring them up closer to you so you can see. This yarn is quite fluffy and it has some similarities to the Drops Air. It is recommended for the needle size 3.5, so I decided to hold the yarn double throughout the sweater to achieve an acceptable gauge on the needle size 5.5. For the final reveal, I have to say that I am quite satisfied with the outcome of this sweater. If I were to knit the sweater again, I would still do some modifications. First, for the yoke. I think if I were to knit this again, I would skip 2 to 3 repeats of the collar work for the yoke. I did 25 repeats, and I think this is way too much for my body size. I recognized that it is too much when I was finished knitting the yoke and I held it up and tried it on. So I decided to not frog it back because of the fluffy consistency of the yarn. It would be a pain to rip it back. And so I decided to go with it. So instead of frogging it back, I decided to build in some decreases right below the yoke. So for every repeat of the yoke, I did 2 decreases, which is a total of 50 stitches decreased after the yoke. So the stitch count for the sleeves and for the body is perfect for me, but the stitch count of the yoke is still a bit too much. For the yarn, I have to say it bloomed a lot by blocking, and so the finished product is very dense and very fluffy. So that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I hope you enjoyed this video just as much as I did. Feel free to leave any feedback or comments you may have in the comment section down below. I wish you all a peaceful time, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye!